How we doing? How we looking? How we feeling? Say what's up if you're in the chat. We are live here. Happy Monday morning in Australia. Happy Sunday night over there in beautiful United States of America. If you're in America, hey, well, you guys. First of all, how you doing? Second of all, what are you doing for 4th of July? Are you going to the barbecue? You doing beach? Are you going to the beach? You hanging out with family? What are you doing around that time in 4th of July? I haven't celebrated the 4th of July in, I would say, 8+ years because I've been living in Australia. So once again, that is a very interesting time out there when it does come down to the 4th of July. Daniel Macy in the chat already saying 74 days until kickoff, which is phenomenal. I cannot wait. Sam says 11 more Sundays until we are blessed with the NFL Red Zone. Hey, and Scott Hansen, I cannot wait for that as well. I thought about, for my own personal, I guess, thought process, sometimes I think of a bunch of ideas. I think the market is pretty saturated, but I was like, oh, maybe I should just live stream just a Giants game, or like me reacting to the Giants game, because I just love my team so much. But there's so many Giants live streams and accounts out there that I will have to compete with, and those guys have been doing it for years. They have really good fan bases, but just something that I thought about. Not saying it's gonna happen. What's happening, Dan? He said, hope I get in today. Yes, we'll definitely be talking about how we get in. Gator fan, how you doing? How you doing, Chase? I'm here to talk smack. You love to see it here. Gator fan says, get some likes here today. Yeah, and you know, if we do reach our like goal here today, I will set our like goal to 50 likes today. If we can get 50 likes here today, I'm definitely down to do maybe a super flex mock draft here with you guys. What's happening, Bobby? Tommy said we have the 4th of July bash when we out there. Hey, say less. Hey, 4th of July bash. I don't think I was here around that time, but shout out to Tommy the Boy Briggs Broccoli. How you doing, brother? What's happening? He said, how's your sleeping going with the new bub? Simon said, sleep is all right. Sleep is not too terrible. We're kind of contemplating between, we really want to get him to sleep in his own bed, which he has been doing really successful, but then some nights are really hard and we just give in, and then we kind of lose all that progress we make. So then we end up co-sleeping. So it's just only certain days we co-sleep, which at the same time, I'll be honest with you, is not the safest. And I know a lot of people, like, it's kind of taboo to kind of co-sleep without it being safe, but it works for us at the moment, so it's okay. It says, come on, Jack. What's happening, Sparrow? What's happening to the pound? Text Cajun, how you doing? No, Zach's he had a doctor's appointment today. So I'll let him, he'll do his thing. He'll probably be on the live stream here later on. But yeah, I'm doing a solo dolo today. I am the captain now here. Guys, well, before we get into our Would You Rather and mock draft here, I'm going to tell you how to get into this mock draft first, okay? And if you guys want to join a mock draft with us at any point in time, all you have to do is join our Discord. And when you join our Discord, it is first come, first serve, but what you have to do, and all you have to do, is go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, okay? Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, and then go to announcements. That is a new tab. It's no longer content releases. So once again, join our Discord. That link is in the description. That link is also in the chat. Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs. Go to announcements, and that's exactly where I'll be posting the link. And I'll even put it in the chat. Link will be here, so you guys can kind of see that, and it will fill up. At least our expectation is that it will fill up quickly. But this is a good time for you to join mock drafts now, because honestly, it is the off season. It's summertime. Not too many people are focusing on trying to get into mock drafts. But as we get closer and closer to the season, as we start to get closer to even preseason, you're gonna see these mock drafts start to fill up, instantly here. But I'll send that link out first, okay, and then I am going to do Would You Rather, okay? That's a nice little series that we like to do here, and it's been pretty fun, okay? So I'm gonna send that link out here in 3, 2, 1. That link is out here for you guys. You said Lloyd said, I'm getting a spot this time. Missed the last 3. Dang, Mox. Yeah, it does fill up fast, so you definitely got to be quick with it, okay? So make sure you fill up fast. And it looks like we are about filled here. Let me just refresh and make sure. Let me just make sure. We still got 1 spot. We still have 1 spot. If you haven't got it, he said got the 1 spot. Okay. Lloyd said he got in. We do have 1 more spot, and there you go. All right. But right before we do this, let's go to Would You Rather. Once again, a nice little thing we like to do on the Flog Fantasy website. Would you rather? Get the kind of chat engaging as always. So I already have it set up here for you. And you comment down in the chat, would you rather Isaiah Pacheco or T. Higgins in the best bowl format? This one's pretty tough. I figured I'd start with this one because I think a lot of people are high on Isaiah Pacheco. T. Higgins, I'm a little apprehensive about and what I will be personally going or what I'm thinking about him this year. But I'm going to go with the upside personally, and I'm going to be taking T. Higgins because if he can stay healthy and string at least a good, 15 games, T. Higgins' upside is easily a top 12 to 15 type of wide receiver finish there with Ja'Marr Chase being the wide receiver 2 and Joe Burrow. Where Isaiah Pacheco, I think he can definitely finish within the top 12, but I think his ceiling is more within, or safe floor, I would say, is more within that top, 12 to 15, where I think T. Higgins on any given week can finish as a top 10 wide receiver, and maybe throughout the season can finish as a top 10 wide receiver here. Joe said Pacheco and his twinkle toe. Sparrow said T. Higgins. Dan said Pacheco. Okay, so a lot of people are kind of split at the moment here. Once again, Isaiah Pacheco can be anything, can do anything at any given week. I think it's T. Higgins this week here for me. Let's see what else we can get here on the Flock Fantasy website. I only do a couple if we can't get Amon-Ra St. Brown or Ja'Marr Chase. I think this is phenomenal. I think I know where I'm going with this. But I mean, I don't think it's too crazy of an answer. Just says smash that like. But once again, our like goal is 50 likes today. So if we get to 50 likes, we will do a second mock draft. And last time we did a second mock draft, it ended up becoming a real draft. Okay, so keep that in mind. Sparrow says Amon-Ra St. Brown. Joe says Chase. Dan said Chase. JC said Amon-Ra. Said breakout season. He also said he take Pacheco on the other one. Okay. So it feels pretty, obviously it's pretty split right now. In the moment, I have Ja'Marr Chase higher in my wide receiver rankings. I think these guys are fairly close. These guys are in the same tier. I don't think there's a tier break here. I think the expectations are going to be both. Both of these guys are wide receiver 1s. Both of these guys are their main target. Both of these guys we hope and expect to be finishing as a top 5, top 8 wide receiver finishing this year. I don't know, man. I think Ja'Marr Chase, even though he has struggled with injury and Joe Burrow struggled with injury, the upside, I believe, is still higher with Chase. Now, I would say the argument for Amon-Ra, consistent targets, consistent floor, safe floor, hasn't really missed too much time. I think he missed, a couple games in his career so far. I don't think he's had a massive span, and he's played within those injuries. Obviously, if you saw that little piece of him saying, "Oh, I'm a bodybuilder," so we know why these other guys get injured. I don't know if you've seen that. I think it was Hard Knocks where they did a piece of Amon-Ra and his dad, and he was a bodybuilder. He was like, "You know why you don't get hurt? Because we bodybuilders." Sam said Amon-Ra in the Super Bowl bound Detroit Lions. I love that. Adam said Amon-Ra always reliable and will play through injuries. Yeah, there you go. See, as I was kind of mentioning here, for me, it's Ja'Marr Chase, but I don't think there's a wrong answer here. Let's see what else. We'll see what else we can get here. Rashad Bateman or Darnell Mooney. I think this is a good one. It's a lower tier one, not as exciting, but I think there's definitely good conversations around Darnell Mooney and Rashad Bateman. I'm a big believer in Mooney coming into this year with the Atlanta Falcons. I think he's going to play that wide receiver 2 role. And Rashad Bateman, can he stay healthy? Darnell Mooney was never the issue. It was the quarterback play. And Rashad Bateman, as much as his talent is significantly better, he was a first-round draft pick. Can he stay healthy? I'm personally still going to go with the talent over the situation. I'm going to go Rashad Bateman, But I would say this: Mooney is not far behind. Mooney is not far behind because if Drake London goes down, it's Darnell Mooney season, baby. That's how I feel. I know a lot of people are saying Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. I get it. But Darnell Mooney right now is the wide receiver 2 on this offense, which is low-key exciting. Joe said Mooney to the moon. You love to see it, JSC. Rashad Bateman. Bateman can never stay healthy. I think that is the biggest concern. The talent is there. The route running ability is there. The separation is all there. Can he stay healthy? Bateman, wide receiver 1 in Baltimore. Book it. Oh, boy. Gator fan said Mooney. Selly said kind of tough. I know, right? I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to go with my heart here. I'm going to go Darnell Mooney. I wonder what, one thing that Zach really had a good idea is seeing when you actually make a vote, you can see what the community percentage would come up here. So hopefully we can implement that here very soon. But imagine we can click on Darnell Mooney and they'll be like, okay, well, 56% of the community has Darnell Mooney. I think that's an awesome idea there. All right, the last one here. Let's see if we get a good one. And then we'll go straight into this mock draft. Let's go to the next. Khalil Herbert, Dawson Knox, Kate Stover, Dawson Knox, Mike Evans, CJ Stroud, and a best ball. I think this one's pretty. How about this? This one's pretty easy in one quarterback. This is Mike Evans, I think. And one quarterback is Mike Evans. But in Superflex is a different conversation. I think, how about this? One quarterback, how about Superflex? Where are we taking? Now, Superflex, CJ Stroud is the first round pick. So it's not close at all either. Like either way, and like in a one quarterback is always Mike Evans. In a Superflex, it's CJ Stroud. So I don't think it's close either way. Or either way. I don't think this is a good one here. People said, actually, CJ Stroud, Evans and a half point, Mike Evans. Mock draft is one quarterback, yeah. Superflex, CJ Stroud 10, trending up, Evans trending down. All right, we'll end it there. I think this is a decent one to end. It's all right. Mike Evans, even though I don't want to go through another one here. CJ Stroud and Super Bowl upon Houston Texans. All right, let's go to the mock draft here. This is one quarterback. One quarterback. It's a start. What's this? I think it's our normal start, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's add another flex in there. Let's do a start 9. Let's add one more flex. Let's update that. Let's just take this bench spot out. Update. And then I can refresh. Okay. Let's put 30 seconds on the clock. That's one thing I didn't do. So don't get auto. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that being the case there, Adam. CeeDee Lamb off the board as the 101. Tom going as that wide receiver 1 there. And I don't think there's an argument. I don't think, that's wrong. It can be CeeDee Lamb or CMC going at the 101 there. So Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. And I'm on the clock at the 106 here. And I'm going to be taking Amon-Ra St. Brown here. If Jamar Chase was there, I would have taken Jamar Chase, but Amon-Ra definitely falls to me. Joe said, Badaki, who are my guys this year? I have a couple. I know one for sure, a lock, is Dalton Kincaid, guy that I've been talking all year. I think my second one that I feel like is pretty obvious in the fantasy community. So I really try to get deep. I really try to dig deeper, and I guess Dalton Kincaid is a pretty obvious one. But when I try to do my guys, I don't want to do obvious guys. I like to go deep, like dig deep and be like, okay, who's a guy that I can see break out and have a decent season? The first player that comes to mind, or the second player that I said that I do believe is pretty obvious, is Garrett Wilson, that I think is going to have a phenomenal season. But other than that, there are a couple different guys. Like I think of Deontay Johnson. I think of Quentin Johnston. of having a decent season, but like I'm not gonna really put him as like a my guy that everyone should be drafting. You get what I'm saying? I think he's more of like a flyer. Let's see what happens. I will probably say Tank Dell is a my guy as well this year. I like the idea of Drake London coming into this year. I would even say Malik Neighbors is a my guy this year. Cooper Kupp is a my guy this year. I'm trying to think of some running backs. Running backs I like this year is probably going to be Joe Mixon, who I love a lot this year. And I would also say Ramondre Stevenson. And I would also say Jaylen Warren. So once again, I haven't really solidified all these guys, and you will see that in our our draft guide, where Zach and I are going to bring all of our my guys, and we're going to have little blurbs about these players when it does come in releasing. But once again, I don't want to be like, okay, my guys are going to be Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, and Jamar Chase. Like, well, that's everyone that's going in the first 2 rounds. You know, like, of course these guys are going to be my guys because you know that they're going to be producing. So I'm trying to find the middle of the pack guys that are going to be a little bit risky, but also be exciting for some of these players. Okay, so Brandon Ayuk goes off the board here, and I'm always stuck at this position where I don't love the wide receivers, and I'm going to try something different here, which may feel like a little bit of a reach. I'm going to go Nico Collins here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Nico Collins is wide receiver 13. I think I'm at the point where if I'm in the second round and I'm not in love with somebody that's there, I'm going to be okay to reach. Because normally the Nico Collins we see go at the end of the second, even though this is the middle of the second here. I think I'm okay to reach going into that. Over under 8 touchdowns for Kincaid. Ooh, I would say the under. I think having over 8 touchdowns is a pretty big ask there. I mean, I'm trying to remember the guys who scored touchdowns last year at the tight end position and what that looked like. I think there was only one tight end that had over 8 touchdowns. If I'm not mistaken, that was Sam Laporta. I mean, at least close to double-digit tight ends. Puka, AJ Brown, Marvin, Rankum. For me, it's AJ Brown, Puka, Marvin. Elijah Moore from last year. Yeah, exactly. You know, not a lot of people have him, but like I guarantee you, the majority of those lists, a lot of people had, you know, pretty big names. And I like to take risk. You know, I'm the risk taker here on this channel. I think that's what I'm kind of known for. And sometimes that doesn't pay off, and sometimes it does pay off. I remember last year I was big on James Cook, and everyone was roasting me. And James Cook, look how James Cook finished this past year, and now he's being projected as a first round value, and he finished as a top 12 running back in PPR. So once again, I like to take some of those risks when it does come down to it. I think another guy I didn't mention was Will Levis. Will Levis is somebody I really like coming into this year, even though that's once again another risky player. So Chris Olave and Mike Evans. Then we had a run of running backs going there with Derrick Henry. That's who I was contemplating at the 2-7. I think I did something similar last time. Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne, Kyren Williams, Devon Achane, and Josh Jacobs there with Jalen Hurts and Sam Laporta. I got excited. I thought Sam Laporta was going to be falling back to me right there. Oh, that's what I wanted. And now I don't love where I'm currently at right now. You guys know me, I'm not a big Stephon Diggs believer. I think I'm going to go Debo here. I don't love it, but let's go Debo. Yeah, I was sniped by the auto pick. I think it's better value to take a quarterback in the second round this year, or in the third round this year, than reaching on, like, I feel 10 times better taking Josh Allen over Debo Samuel, Jalen Waddle in the third round. I think the value is there. Now it's just a little bit difficult when it does come down to building your team. That makes it a little bit more like, okay, like building that team just makes it, once again, difficult. There goes Isaiah Pacheco there. George Pickens is my guy. Yeah, George Pickens is a good one. I'm back and forth on George Pickens all season, you know. Dan says, until I see Marvin on the field, I got to go with the proven guys first. Just my opinion. Not that I don't like Marv. Not that I don't think Marv can be that. That's fair. You want to go with the proven assets, and that's understandable. So I'm drafting Olave over Collins every single time, personally, JSC, and that's okay. I think the situation is really difficult when it comes down to Olave. And, like, you know, a lot of people let me ask you this. Nico has done more in 1 year than Chris Olave has done in 2 years. Sorry, like, in a fantasy perspective. Yes, Nico Collins has broke out this year, but Chris Olave is getting drafted significantly higher in a dynasty perspective, and a lot of people will take Olave over Nico, but Nico Collins has done more. Now, the situation is different, right? Because the quarterback play is significant, and that's why I will take Nico Collins. And then also there's more mouths to feed in Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs, where Chris Olave has no one. But it doesn't mean that I'm just worried about the quarterback play, right? So I completely understand there. There goes Tank Dell. It's Tank Dell going essentially ahead of another wide receiver. It's the second Texans wide receiver going off the board, essentially a whole round and a half later than Nico Collins. So that value just definitely feels great. I love that start at the end there for Selimo. Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Cooper Kupp, and Tank Dell. That's a great start here. There goes Amari Cooper. Love that pick. Daniel Macy is about to snipe me. I guarantee it. Travis Kelce. Yeah, Jacobs at the 302. And that's the difficult part. There goes George Pickens. And that's Macy's guy there. I feel like if I don't take somebody now, I'm going to regret it. I'm going to take Alvin Kamara here. Because yeah, let's see what happens. Thoughts on Henry and Jacobs as they both switch to better teams? I love Derrick Henry this year. I think he's going to be the guy that I was hoping him to be last year, be like a top 10, top 8 type of guy. I mean, he still had a decent season. He finished his top 8. I had him more like top 5 last year, but he was still top 10. I think he finishes more. I think he can have a higher ceiling this year, especially in this run-first offense there with the Baltimore Ravens. And Josh Jacobs, for me, I'm a little bit more hesitant on where he's going to be going. And Gator fan always takes Joe Mixon. He always takes 3 running backs. That's what I was contemplating. I was taking Joe Mixon, but I already had Nico. I wanted to see if he did fall back to me. I was happy to take him there. It says Olave started building chemistry with Derek Carr down the stretch, and I have faith that carry into the season. The thing is, Olave had 2 years to build chemistry with Chris Olave. Am I wrong there? Or am I getting it? That wasn't Derek Carr's first year last year with the with the Saints. Am I wrong? He had 2 years with Derek Carr, didn't he? I must be tripping. No, I think I'm definitely right. No, yet last year was the first year, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the first year. So I understand him building chemistry. I just think Derek Carr is not the same quarterback. That's my hardest thing here, because Derek Carr doesn't look like the guy that we were hoping and expecting to be. And when you think about everything that Derek Carr has done, yeah, he has produced fantasy relevant wide receivers in Devontae Adams and Amari Cooper. I think it was a different time. It was a different time for Derek Carr. And I think we're kind of putting him in this same boat as Russell Wilson, right? Like, we believed in Russell Wilson, and that's a mistake that I've learned, right? I believed in Russell Wilson a lot last year. I was hoping that he was going to be this guy. Dalton Kincaid goes right there, and I think that's a phenomenal pick there. And I'm going to continue to punt running back, and I think it's too hard to pass up, and that's Mark Andrews. Just hard for me to envision Derek Carr really doing that again. As much as we have faith in him and seeing it, I just, once again, like I was kind of saying with Russell Wilson, we were hoping the same thing with the Cortland Sutton, with Jerry Jeudy's. At least I was. I know a lot of the fantasy community was. That made Jerry Jeudy last year, I think, was Zach's my guy. And like, we both loved Jerry Jeudy coming into last year or 2 years ago because of Russell Wilson. That just wasn't the case. And I think that is the same light and the same pathway that potentially, Chris Olave is going. And it's not because of his talent, it's because of the quarterback situation, which is unfortunate. See, what are the odds that Marvin is a clear top 8 Superflex redraft pick next year? Who in his tier has better odds? To me, that's the argument of Marvin. That's the argument for Marvin. Is it easy path to super relevant? Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty high. If you think about it, top 8 is not out of this world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, he's top 8 in Superflex. So if you think about it, that means he's going to be ahead of Justin Jefferson, Chris Olave. Sorry, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and maybe CeeDee Lamb. I think he could definitely be in that tier by next year, if that's what you're asking, with the expectations and how he can have. I think now I have Chris Olave second. Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors are 2 wide receivers that could have a Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase type of rookie year, where he can they can be drafted in the first round next year because of his talent. It's a great pick from Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah, Trey was an incredible value there. I wanted Trey. Always between Amari and Tank. This background music just ended. I'm digging. It's an old background music we had in a minute. We got that for a long time ago. I honestly don't even know where we got it from. So David Montgomery in the 6th there. Wow. Okay, so a couple of different values here that we could potentially be going. All right, DeAndre Swift. So we have a run of running backs. There goes Jaden Reed. I was actually hoping for Monty or Ramondre Stevenson to fall to me. Is this pretty common that Ramondre Stevenson is going in the 6th round, or is that just because of that contract extension? I'm interested to see what that was. And I don't even have time to even look at the past there. And I'm going to make a panic pick. And I'm going to be taking Rashee Rice. Damn. 60 seconds. I got to follow my own rules, man. Come on. Come on, baby. Oh, there we go. No, and that's the thing, Sparrow. I don't think it should affect where he's going in redraft, but I don't remember him going that high up. Let's see where he went last time, because I do feel like it wasn't as high. Am I wrong there? Let me just man, why is it resetting it for both? I'm trying to pull up our old one. Ramondre Stevenson last time went in the 7-3, so he went a whole round earlier on our last mock draft that we did. Let's see the 20th. That was 2 mock drafts ago. 1 mock draft ago, he went. I'm trying to find him here. He went at the 6-12. So he's risen up around at least since that contract extension. So I think the contract extension does help him. I guess it gives you more confidence that they're going to be building around him, right? So it just really depends on how you view Ramondre Stevenson coming into this year. Once again, guys, our like goal is 50 likes, and we'll get to do another mock draft. That's either super flex or 1 quarterback. I'll leave it up to you guys if we do get up to that like goal. But 53 people watching, 26 likes. Obviously, we can definitely get there if you do drop a like. And we have a little run of running backs. George Kittle goes, Jonathan Brooks, Raheem Mostert, Zamir White. Yeah. And there goes all the running backs. I mean, yeah, GG's. And that's where it makes it difficult taking that tight end, right? At that 5-6, but that's okay. There goes Chris Godwin. I'm going to continue to punt here. I'm going to take Diontae Johnson. Was Pacheco pick or reach? Seems about a half round early for him. Yeah, I mean, the 3rd round, it's a bit high for me. I'm not a big Pacheco guy, but I think it's a bit high. And then I think he normally goes maybe like middle of the 4th round, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I'm kind of like where Alvin Kamara goes and George Pickens went. So Ramondre Stevenson was borderline top 10 running back in 2012 at full health. Yeah, I think for me, Ramondre Stevenson can be that guy. And even in a redraft perspective, it gives you the confidence that they want to build around him and give him the opportunity to continue to carry the ball on the ground and in the air. I personally think this makes me worry more about Antonio Gibson as a best ball play, right? If you're in best ball and you have Antonio Gibson, this doesn't instill confidence in me, because now with the contract extension of Ramondre Stevenson, every single opportunity, at least you hope, let me rephrase that. I hope every single opportunity is going to be given to Ramondre Stevenson with this contract extension, and the fact that he is going to be somebody that's going not only to being in pass protection, but being in 1st, 2nd, and even 3rd down. Antonio Gibson might be in 3rd and longs, right? Where Ramondre Stevenson used to eat, but I think the also concern is like those fumble situations with Antonio Gibson in the past. There's Kyler Murray there at the A. That's good value there for Kyler Murray, no question. What's happening, Mighty Booch? So how do you feel about Diontae Johnson? I like Diontae Johnson. I was going to have him as my guy, but I know Zach called dibs on him, which is fine. I was a little bit skeptical of Diontae Johnson early in the offseason, but the more research I did with Brian Callahan and Dave Canellis, and with this offensive line and how they were going to be improving, and my expectations and my projections of Diontae Johnson, I can easily see him being more of like a 120, 130 type of wide receiver coming into this year. DeAndre Hopkins, phenomenal pick. I was hoping that he will fall back to me. So I definitely see the pathway there for Diontae Johnson coming into this year. No doubt about it. All right. Let's see what Daniel Macy is going to do here, because a lot leans on Macy. Tony freaking Pollard. That's what I was going to take. Jordan Love. Oh boy. It really leaves me slim here. I don't like any running backs in. There's one running back I do like, which I might as well take now. And that's Zach Moss. What's happening, Albert? Yeah, exactly. If Thielen can get 137 targets, no question. And I think that's the reason why I was a little bit hesitant early in the offseason was because of my belief in Xavier Legette, and I still believe in him. And the more content that does come out in interviews and the way they're talking about Xavier and how they're going to be utilizing him really reminds me of Mike Evans. I'm not saying he is Mike Evans, but think about how Mike Evans was being utilized in Tampa with Dave Canellis there as the offensive coordinator. They got a big body wide receiver that can move. He may not be a fluid route runner, but he's somebody that can move, that could be a big body guy that can play in the slot and in the outside. I think that's what's exciting about it. Now, Diontae Johnson, I do have a little bit lower expectations than the rest of the community, but I still believe he's going to be fantasy relevant. A lot of people think Diontae Johnson could finish as a top 20 wide receiver. I think that range is more at like 25, 30, which I still believe is really good based off of his value. So it just really depends on all that. And I think the argument is that, Adam Thielen was a top 10, 12 wide receiver in the first half of the season, and we saw that. But now there's significantly more mouths to feed. Now you have Diontae Johnson. Adam Thielen, does he lose his role a little bit? They have Xavier Legette there as well. They also have Jonathan Brooks, who's a pass-catching back. How does Jonathan Mingo come out this year? If at all, Jatavion Sanders. So there's a lot of different things that do come into factors when I think about Diontae Johnson. And I'm not saying he can't finish as a top 20 wide receiver or even top 15 wide receiver. I think I just have a little bit of lower expectations when I think about Diontae Johnson, because I do believe that ball is going to be spread around pretty significant. Javonte Williams. Somebody just said, who would you draft, Palmer or QJ? They're going around the same. For me, it's QJ, and I actually think Palmer is most likely going to be going earlier. But in a lot of our drafts, I take Quentin Johnston, so that's just me. So I think the community, like an R80P, might be a little bit skewed. It might be a little bit skewed when it does come down to that, but for me, I would still be taking Quentin Johnston there for me. Let's look at these wide receivers. Okay. Still not in love with this running back room, and I like Tyjae Spears as an upside guy here. So I'm going to take Tyjae Spears. Getting him around later than Tony Pollard, I thought he would have been gone, to be honest. It goes Dallas Goedert. Got a little run of tight ends there. But yeah, I think that's just my liking. And once again, you have to, I look at everything, right? With Quentin Johnston. What happened last year was terrible, but I think it's pretty significant how Jim Harbaugh has spoke highly of him and spoke about how We know what he could be, what he can be. We know how he can be utilized. We know the way he should be utilized. And what's crazy, once again, I go back to this. They beat them in the college football playoffs. 100. It was like 5 targets, 156 yards against Michigan for Quentin Johnston. So Jim Harbaugh has a good understanding of how Quentin Johnston it can and could be utilized, which is exciting for me. And Josh Palmer is a good piece, well, no doubt about it. But I think Quentin Johnston, they really want to see him emerge coming into this year. Ladd McConkey is still going to be the #1 guy, but for me, it's going to be Quentin as a wide receiver too. But look, lower expectations. You're drafting late in rounds, and if it doesn't work out, unlucky, right? I mean, you're taking a high upside guy there. Jason, in my opinion, Ladd and QJ will go higher next year, and anyone getting them at their value will reap reward of it. Yeah, I think so as well. And I actually think they're going to be interchangeable, JSC, because I see Ladd and Keenan, Quentin outside. You know, Quentin wasn't successful outside, and that's where they were using him last year. And I'm not saying they're going to be interchanging Ladd and QJ, but I think there's going to be a couple games where you see Quentin in the inside, and Ladd on the outside, and you're going to see vice versa. Maybe they want the speed. They both have speed. Maybe you want you want size on the outside, or you want size in the slot. Both of those guys are going to be eating in the slot, in and outside. I think we're just going to be seeing a little bit more of them getting creative coming into this year. Shakir at the 10-2. I was hoping for that. There goes Devin Singletary, another guy I was hoping potentially coming back to me. I do have one more guy I do like here that is available. Let's see if he does. Daniel Macy. That's just annoying, man. Can you just go somewhere? Like, all right, that's okay. That's who's next here. He's always down deep in ADP. I was contemplating to take him at the 8-7. I'm gonna take Brian Robinson here, getting another running back who still I think is gonna have great value, but I would rather have Jerome Ford. Andrew, so you think Moss has a top 12 running back finish? I think he can have a top 15 to 18 running back finish. Brandon Cooks, phenomenal pick, also buried in ADP. I was hoping that no one would see him. And once again, our community really values this guy and Brandon Cooks. So yes, I do believe Zach Moss does have an ability to finish as a top 15 to 20 running back, and getting him, I mean, I don't even want to count it. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Running back 28, I think it's phenomenal value. I really do. Let me just make my my face a little smaller so you guys can see the mock. Chuba Hubbard there. Once again, I have a little bit lower expectation when it does come down to someone like a Zach Moss, but I think he is a good value. There goes Quentin there at the 11-1. Like, think about it. Look where Quentin just went. I now count the wide receivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 58. Wide receiver 58. Here goes Chase Brown. That's a good pick there. All right, so I was hoping Quentin was going to fall to me. I was hoping the likes of Shakir or Brandon Cooks was going to fall to me. I'll go ahead and pivot, and I'll take my quarterback. I'll take Dak Prescott here. Finished as top 3 quarterback this past year. Getting him in the 11th round here. I'll take that right now. Josh Downs there. Once again, guys, our like goal is 50 likes if you want to do another mock draft. Let's see where we're at currently. Only 29, and there's 51 people watching. Come on, if you want to do another mock draft, and you could get in here potentially. We have 3 more rounds to go. Make sure you drop a like. If not, I will be calling quits on the live stream here. Mighty Booch, he says, I like Antonio Gibson's value, especially in Scott Fishbowl, because I think he might get some playing at kick/punt return. Yeah, and I think that is what's exciting about this kick/punt return new rules. I think we should be implementing that, which it probably won't happen this year. But if there are big plays that do come from those kick and/punt returns, I think that could be a huge fantasy football, I guess, pathway, which will be fun, right? Putting that, imagine having an extra spot on your roster that says punt/kick and drafting somebody specifically in that role, and you can get fantasy points. And maybe it's not for everyone, but specifically with the new kickoff returns, I think we're going to see more explosive plays. We're just going to see more explosive plays, which I think is going to be exciting. And we're going to see some of these guys take it to the house, because apparently, from what I've been hearing from a lot of, Dontavion Wicks is a good pick there at the 12. What I've been hearing a lot from a lot of, coaches and conversations and interviews when it comes on to this new punt return, kick return, a lot of this is going to be tested out in obviously in preseason, but the position that's going to be utilized a lot for that punt return position is most likely going to be running backs, like you kind of mentioned Antonio Gibson. So like, yeah, if that could be implemented in fantasy football, that would be exciting. So I'm really down for that. And I think Antonio Gibson could play a good role in that, but not somebody I'm going out and trying to, do a lot with. There's Jermaine Burton there. Okay, I like that pick. I'm gonna take Michael Wilson, wide receiver 2 over there. Look, I'm not in love with my running back room. I think a lot of other people would be in love with it with Zach Moss. I think Alvin Kamara easy a top 10 in my eyes. Zach Moss could be a top 20. But where does Tajay Spears or Brian Robinson fall? Like, I would have felt better with Joe Mixon. Like, if Joe Mixon fell to me at the 4'11", I would have been scratching my head. At the 5'6", I would have been scratching my head there if I take Mark Andrews or Joe Mixon. I would have looked like an idiot not taking Mark Andrews. But Liam said, favorite sleeper tight end this year? Definitely Dallas Goedert for sure. To give you a little bit of a deeper answer, I would have to say Pat Freiermuth is a phenomenal, sleeper tight end. And it's because he was injured a lot of the time last year. And Deontay Johnson's no longer there, who's demanding targets. Who was another wide receiver that they brought in outside of a rookie in Roman Wilson and George Pickens? Do they use Pat Freiermuth a little bit more coming into this year? I think they potentially can. So I like Pat Freiermuth a lot. I think the Giants have a really interesting one, but I know a lot of people aren't excited about that. And I would also say Ja'Tavion Sanders for the Carolina Panthers is pretty exciting as well. I liked his film. I liked his talent. He was one of the top tight ends of this draft class. Now, a lot of that was hurt by his performance at the NFL Combine. But still, I think the talent's there. He's a big body tight end that can get into space. And I think he's faster on the field when he's on the field in motion in game time than what we saw at the NFL Combine. So I like Ja'Tavion Sanders there as well. 2 more rounds until this is over, and the like goal is at 50 and looks like we're at 30 likes right now. That's okay. That's okay, guys. And this little promo, guys, if you guys want to get our draft guide that Zach and I are putting a lot of time in, you're going to see all our projections, all of our my guys, all of our must avoids, our best values and rounds, and that's going to be updated maybe each and every week when it does come out. Go to flogfantasy.com. Make sure you sign up to get our draft guide, and if you already signed up, you'll have the availability to get that once it's coming out. And our soft launch is going to be July 1st. Right, so July 1st, we're really hoping and trying to get at least our projections out, and then as the coming weeks come, we're hoping to see those my guys and so on and so forth as we get closer and closer to the season. Jaleel McLaughlin is a good pick there. Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Wright, and then I think the running back one that's still available for me. Come on, give it to Rico. Come on, baby. 2 rounds later. Then Zeke at the 11. Give me Rico. Come on, man. Sam says, Iowa State fan. This Purdy Hall Monty team I have here is a dream. You love to see it. Not that bad of a team there. Going really strong at the wide receivers. Getting London, Moore, Amari, and T. Higgins there. DJ Moore. Oh, I think I would rather have Jalen Waddle over DJ Moore this year. T. Higgins. Interesting pick there at the 5'9". So definitely good. Definitely some good picks there. I like it a lot. There goes Antonio Gibson. All right, and the last pick. You guys already know where I'm going to go. Got to go with the homer pick here. Let's see if anyone can snipe me. I think someone is going to snipe me. I already gave it away. I gave it away. There goes Pat the Dragon. Sparrow says happy with the team before the Eckler auto pick. Where are you, Sparrow? I think, is this you? Where's the Eckler auto pick? Am I tripping? Eckler. 12. Selmo. Oh, you're a Selmo Sparrow? I thought you were always somebody else. I thought your name was actually Sparrow on Sleeper. I don't know why I always thought that. Yeah, the Austin Eckler pick is a bit annoying. Wanda Robinson. I mean, that's a sleeper. That's a my guy. Am I going to make him as my guy? Probably not. But I love Wanda Robinson this year. First year that he's been healthy. You know, I know we guys had that argument about Wanda Robinson or Josh Downs at the team build or team review. I'm taking Wanda Robinson. Draft capital is there. The team loves him. He's been healthy. We saw what he can do in the second half of the season. Malik Neighbors is there, which takes a little bit of pressure off him. I personally love it. I think it's phenomenal. Pat Frymuth off the board there. Okay. I'll take Rashad Bateman here. Well, I was talking up a little bit. Tyrone Tracy. I love. Gotta call on Tyrone. Guys, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming through, hanging out with us. We'll be live tomorrow doing a Dynasty, most likely a Dynasty startup and then team reviews. By the way, I do want to keep you guys informed that we do have a new service, an a la carte service, which has been phenomenal here in the community. Go to the Flock Fantasy website, as you can see on your screen, and you see this little tab here. You can click on this, and this is a new a la carte service. Okay, if you want a team review and if you already have a team review and want another team review, you can go ahead and purchase another one. Or if you haven't supported and maybe say, you know what, I don't want to support, I just want to do a one-time payment, all you have to do is do a team review. Click continue, right? Input your information here. Get your team. My name is white boy named Dante. Put your Discord name, right? Make sure your picks are correct. So you can make sure all your picks are correct. If not, you can select them. And then you put your description, right? Team. And then press continue. And this is a little bit blown up here. But as you can see, you can select any content creator that you want to do. Obviously, we would prefer you guys to go ahead and sign up to the Flock Fantasy website, select the Mother Flocker tier. But keep in mind, if you do sign up to the Flock Fantasy website, it has to be the Mother Flocker tier, the annual Mother Flocker tier, and not the monthly, because if you do sign up monthly, then you won't be able to get this. If you do sign up monthly, you get a 25% off on the review, but you won't be able to get that. And that's all under the announcements tab on our Discord as well. But you can click our name here. You can, drop a $200 review. Select it. You can select multiple as well. You know, you can select all 3 of these guys, all 4 of these guys. Like, okay, give 100 to Mason, 100, I'll give 150 to here, and then press checkout. And then it takes you to another window there, right? So you can kind of see how that works. Oh, well, see, once again, you can see how that works, how it takes you to the Stripe page. But this is awesome, guys. This is everything that you guys have been asking for. We have so many people requesting all of this. So once again, if you want a team review and just haven't gotten it and want to do this, you can just get a team review from either myself and Zach or any other content creator on the website, which is awesome. So make sure you go out and check this out. And we're gonna have so much more coming. I don't know if you can see the sneak peeks. Start Street questions. It's kind of gonna be like your what's it called? Your super chats. Trade questions as well is gonna be very similar. So make sure you go out and check these things out as they come out. But the team review is up and running now, and get ready for next year, because next year this is going to be even 10 times better, as I know a lot of people have already gotten their team reviews. But we appreciate each and every one of you. So what's on deck for tomorrow, Joe? Yeah, there you go. I said, so tomorrow, most likely team review and or a Dynasty Superflex, but definitely keep that in mind. Make sure you turn on your notifications as we will go, as we turn on for our live stream for our Dynasty. Tommy said Herbert and Drake London or Jaden Daniels and Jay Jettis 10 team PPR Superflex Dynasty. I would do Jaden Daniels and Justin Herbert, or Jaden Daniels and Justin Jefferson there, Tommy. Jaden Daniels and Herbert are not too far off in my rankings, and and Drake London and Justin Jefferson, I don't know why I keep saying that, and Justin Jefferson are in 2 different tiers for me. So that's where I'll be going. All right, guys, appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for supporting. We'll see you tomorrow on the Dynasty channel. We have a lot of content coming out. We do have a video for tomorrow coming out. I'll actually tell you what that video is on our redraft channel. So tomorrow we do have a video, 6 breakout players you need in fantasy football. And then on the Dynasty channel, if I'm not mistaken, we do have another video coming out tomorrow with some good content and that is the buy, sell, hold one. But once again, appreciate each and every one of you. All love.